Hello and welcome to the Johnny Jimbles Show & Co. And today, we will be talking about our proposed chapter for Half-Life and Dead by Daylight. Without a further ado, let's start with the survivors. The survivors we have planned for this chapter are the science team, Gordon Freeman and Barney Calhoun. Yes, there are 3 survivors, I just had a lot of fun making perks. Without further delay, let's start with the science team! The science team has 3 perks. Open the silo doors, don't worry, and do you smell what I smell? First, let's take a look at Open the Silo Doors. Now this perk is weird because almost right after I wrote this perk down, Wake Up got changed to be what that perk was going to be. So now Open the Silo Doors is just old Wake Up. So that means, open the silo doors. When standing next to a person opening an exit gate, they open it 10, 15, or 20% faster. With each additional person standing at the gate, the opener gains an additional 10, 15, or 20% opening speed.
Hang up that computer call. Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantical.
Is it worse than just Wake Up? Yes, but I'm just mad that I couldn't use my original perk idea because that was way cooler. But no, they just gotta rework the perk into something better instead of adding new perks for bloat. In all honesty, I like the new rework and I think it makes the perk a lot better. Moving on from that, we have Don't Worry. Don't worry. Anything that would interrupt your healing of another survivor no longer does so. But you heal at 90, 95, or 100% normal healing speed.
Let me take care of that wound for you.
I'm dying. It's my friend.
Lastly, for the science team, we have Do You Smell What I Smell? Do you smell what I smell? When you are hit, all of the survivors see the aura of the killer for 2, 4, or 6 seconds. This perk has a cooldown of 20 seconds.
Uh-oh. Stinky.
This perk was made for the benefit of solo queue players, but also because my editor really likes this line for some reason. The designs for the scientists are based on the original models from Half-Life 1. While the Black Mesa ones are higher fidelity, they have a lot less personality. Alternate skins for the science team would be Hazmat Suit, Dr. Rosenberg, and either generic female scientist from Black Mesa, or Gina or Colette, with their HEV suit off. Now let's talk about Gordon Freeman. He brings 3 perks with him into the fog, those perks being Highly Trained Professional, HEV Power, and Black Mesa's Defender. Highly Trained Professional. While working on a gen, you can no longer scream, and you cannot get grabbed off the gen, but if you get downed, you still stop working on the gen.
Gordon doesn't need to hear all this. He's a highly trained professional. We've assured the administrator that nothing will go wrong.
HEV Power. After completing 2, 1, or half a gen's worth of progress, gain 1 token of HEV Power. Any attack that would insta-down you now just puts you into the mending state and consumes 1 token. This perk was made to be a counter for insta-downs that was easier to use than Dead Horde. I also made this because I wanted a perk based off of the HEV suit itself. Black Mesa's Defender. 1 random player at the start of the trial is picked to be the person you defend. You will always see their aura for the remainder of the trial. Healing actions done with your defended player will go 5, 10, or 15% faster. And taking a protection hit will give you the ability to take another protection hit while injured and only go into the mending state. If multiple people use this perk in a match, it will not attach to the same person using the perk unless all players are using it. I find perks that make you have a buddy or a teammate that you need to be around very fun and interesting, so I wanted to make one that's not bad like most of the other perks in the category. I also wanted to play into the saving scientist thing Gordon does in lore. I don't believe it's explicitly said that he saved people in Half-Life 1, but given how people talk about him, it's a pretty good assumption he did such a thing. Alternate skins for Gordon Freeman: Gina Cross, Colette Green, Helmeted, Half-Life 2. The last survivor entering the fog is Barney Calhoun and his 3 perks. About That Beer I Owe You, Look Over Here, and Company Secrets. First, let's take a look at About That Beer I Owe You.
I'm sure of it.
About That Beer I Owe You. Every time you do a complete action helping another player, you gain a 2% speed boost with actions regarding that person. This can stack 2, 4, or 6 times. This effect stays for the remainder of the trial.
Now, about that beer I owe ya.
Originally, this perk slot was filled by combat training, which was a perk that made pallet stuns inflict 3 seconds of hindered, but I changed it out due to that being very boring. Look over here. Make all allies get endurance and you become exposed while they are within 8, 12, or 16 meters of you pallet stunning the killer. This perk was specifically made to be a confidence checker or ballsy playmaker, like Dead Hard. If you're as good as looping as you think you are, you just saved a teammate, and forced the killer to waste time on you. If not, you just wasted a hook state. I always love items or whatever in video games that if you're a god, you're untouchable and single-handedly win the game, but if you aren't, you just eat shit.
Species can't possibly.
And lastly, my favorite perk in the entire project, Company Secrets. Company Secrets. After healing yourself or a teammate, the killer's HUD is not updated with any information regarding the healing target's health state for 60, 75, or 90 seconds. I don't really know why, but I do love the idea of adding more uncertainty to the trials. The alternate skins for Barney Calhoun would be Otis, without armor, and Half-Life 2. Before we get to the killer we chose and the ability we gave him, I want to talk about how hard it is to come up with a killer for this franchise. Let's go down the list, shall we? Come on, Advisor wouldn't work because their basic attack would be weird and their core shape is also really weird. The Hunters might work, but the basic attack would look really wonky. Antlions, as many varieties, would be too small or too big, so you can't really put that in either. Combines would just be guys with guns. A barnacle is just attached to the ceiling. That's not very interesting. Alien Grunt, his power would just be way too similar to Trickster. Vortigaunts, sadly, while having a good power set in theory, are considered friendly in the next game, which is their much more popular depiction. Hound Eye's too small, Bull Squid's too small. Zombie, maybe, but it's not big enough and the ability's weird. What we ended up doing is getting a Gnome and giving it a power that would fit a Vortigaunt. This is mainly because the only real other option is an alien controller, and they look really dumb. We could have also used Jeff, but the Gnome's cooler. The Gnome's ability is Zen Corruption. You can place up to 10 portals that spread Zen Corruption. The corruption makes all actions 20% slower in it, all skill checks in the Zen Corruption are 100% harder, and any and all gens that are corrupted in any way regress while not being worked on at a normal rate. We at the Black Mesa Anomalous Materials Lab have been hard at work to combat the spread of Zen fauna in our laboratories. And with this hard work in mind, we present you the Black Mesa Anti-Biologics device. Simply press and hold the button at the top, and hold for 2 seconds. Once the device is active, it should remove all Zen fauna in a 4-meter sphere around the device. Once it's done its job, it disintegrates. We don't want those incompetent fucks over at Aperture to get their hands on these, don't we, gentlemen? You can find your Black Mesa Anti-Biologics device at any Black Mesa marked crate. And don't worry, where you're going, they're going to be around. The Black Mesa Anti-Biologics device acts almost identically to the Singularity item, but it's reflavored for Half-Life. Also, I believe it being made by the Half-Life science team adds nice flavor and plays into how they act in the Half-Life franchise. Also, a little side note, using it on the origin point of Zen Corruption stops the spread but does not remove all of the spreading that has already occurred. And removing part of the spread but not the portal only removes the chunk of spread that will now regrow if the portal is still in play. The Gnome brings 3 new perks into the fog: Dual Consciousness, Interdimensional Interference, and Unforeseen Consequences. First on the discussion block, we have Dual Consciousness. Dual Consciousness gives you aura reading on any survivor you hit for 5, 10, or 15 seconds. This perk was made as a tool for new players because I've genuinely seen a lot of new killers hit someone and then completely lose them, so I feel like a tool specifically for them could be helpful. Interdimensional Interference. After hitting a survivor, the HUD is not updated with their new health state for 15, 30, or 45 seconds. Perks like Empathy can still see them regardless of HUD interference. This ability has a 30-second cooldown.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Our last perk in the entire project is Unforeseen Consequences. Unforeseen Consequences. When in chase, slowly lose your terror radius, but not your red stain, over 5, 2.5, or 0 seconds. Once chase ends, immediately get your terror radius back.
Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit, I took the liberty of relieving you of your weapon.
I know this is very similar to the Huntress perk, but I think the changes I've made make it a surprise target changing tool instead of a red stain hider. Out of all of the concepts for a killer I have made, I feel the least confident in this one, so I made a map to compensate. This is an indoor map heavily inspired by the starting segment of Half-Life 1. We chose this due to the very striking visuals from the start of Chapter 3. The basement. The generator in the middle is the achievement generator, and it causes the things at the top to spin like in the game. The elevator shaft isn't there spatially, it is just put there to be shown. A little elaboration on the portals: the number corresponds to which set it is. 1 goes to 1, 2 goes to 2, so on and so forth. Moving on, we have the middle floor. All gens by beep boop text activate a computer or control panel nearby when powered. When first entering the room at the top, a green blast of energy will blast a hole in the wall where the lizard is. Now we have the upper floor. This had to be split into 2 segments because of the size of the floor. That hole does send you to the basement. The exit gate opener for the bottom spawns on the panel where you used to get your HEV suit in the first game. The top of the elevator shaft does act like the shack of the map. The little staircase by the shack is one of those weird little ladders from Hawkins. This is the second part of the upper floor. The section to the right was heavily based off of the Office chapter, and not in the original layout of the map. Hi, yeah, Johnny Jim was in editing. I forgot to say that this was Dr. Newell's office from Half-Life 1, and that the water in the sink gets sparkly when you complete the generator. Here are some close-ups because of the original images being too far away to see some things in detail. Just a disclaimer before we start, lower tier add-ons will have similar effects to other add-ons. This is because lower tier add-ons are harder to think of effects for, so there will be overlap. Brown add-ons. Genetic Runt. Zen Corruption only spreads 2 meters from the portal. Gain 100% more blood points in the Deviousness category. Vortigaunt's Hands. Plays Zen portals 10% faster. Factory Runoff. The survivor's actions are 5% slower in Zen Corruption. Alien Spores. Zen Corruption spreads 10% faster. Yellow add-ons. Barnacle Tongue. Skill checks happen 15% more in Zen corrupted areas. Alien Controller's Hands. Plays Zen portals 25% faster. Torn Lab Coat. Zen portals start with an extra 0.5 meters of corruption. HEV Suit Charger. Gain a 5% haste for 5 seconds after placing a portal. Antlion Grub. A much larger section of the portal needs to be the radius of the Black Mesa Antibiologics device for it to be destroyed. Green add-ons. Zen Crystal Shard. You can place 1 more portal.
What I will ask you though is, can you give me 1 more
Portal.
I'm not asking you for a week. I'm not asking you for a month. I'm not asking you for a year. Can you give me 1 more
Portal. Genetically superior spores. Zen Corruption spreads 25% faster. Infested Gear. Gens regress 25% faster in Zen Corruption. Black Ops Gear. Remove ambient noise from your ability entirely. Medical Station. Lost Zen Corruption regrows 75% faster. Purple add-ons. Broken Displacer Cannon. Whenever a portal is destroyed, it respawns somewhere else on the map with a 50% speed increase for 30 seconds. Displacer Cannon. It's broken! Nihilant's Finger. Place portals 100% faster and gain 8% haste for 3 seconds after placing. Rosenberg's ID. Get undetectable for 20 seconds after placing a portal. Security Vest. When you are pallet stunned in Zen Corruption, the pallet stun lasts half as long. Red add-ons. Pure Sample. Zen Corruption spreads 100% faster, and Lost Zen Corruption regrows at 175%. Broken HEV Suit. When a survivor leaves Zen Corruption, they spread it where they walk for 8 meters.
Uh-oh.